There is always one person in the frame that you never quite notice. Not the star, not the one with millions of subscribers. Just a figure moving in the background, camera in hand, sprinting through crowds, crouching at the right angle, always there. That person is Slipz. And without him, IShowSpeed's most iconic moments never happen. This is his story. Samuel, known online as Slipz or Shot by Slipz, is a content manager and videographer of Dominican and English descent. He is not a background character. He is the architect of one of the most watched live content operations on the internet. His work has contributed to over 10 billion views across social media platforms. And yet most people could not tell you his last name. It started in 2022. IShowSpeed, already one of YouTube's fastest rising stars, was looking for someone to film a music video for his track, Shake Part 2. He found Samuel. The two clicked immediately. What began as a single project became a full-time collaboration, and then a friendship. Within months, Slipz was not just holding a camera. He was shaping the entire visual identity of Speed's content. To understand what Slipz actually does, you need to understand what IRL streaming is and why it is so difficult to execute well. There is no studio. There is no controlled environment. There are no second takes. Speed walks into crowds of thousands in cities he has never visited, with no script, no rehearsal, and no margin for error. Slipz is the one making that chaos look watchable. He decides the angle. He decides when to push forward and when to pull back. He manages the technical infrastructure that keeps a live signal stable from over 50 countries and counting. If the stream drops, fans notice. If the camera misses the moment, it is gone forever. Most people who watch Speed have no idea how much engineering goes into what looks effortless on screen. And Slipz does it at full speed, literally. He runs, he climbs, he squeezes through mobs and emerges on the other side still rolling. His physical endurance is a legitimate part of the job, and there have been moments where that job pushed him past his limits. In January of 2026, Speed brought his Africa tour to Nairobi, Kenya. The stream featured a high-speed rally car experience and a helicopter ride over the city. Both were physically brutal to film. Shortly after the broadcast ended, Slipz checked himself into a hospital. He had sustained a nerve and disc injury from pushing his body too hard to get the shots. He posted an update from his hospital bed, telling fans the injuries were not permanent, and then returned to support the very next stream before he had even finished recovering. That is the level of commitment we are talking about. But working this closely with someone as unpredictable as IShowSpeed is not without its turbulence. In the summer of 2025, during the Speed Does America tour, something happened that sent the internet into full speculation mode. Speed was in Miami, about to visit Tom Brady, when technical issues started piling up. Sound problems, equipment issues. Speed's frustration grew on camera. He complained loudly, pointed at the production situation, and at one point declared that Slipz was fired. A new cameraman named Anthony appeared. Slipz was nowhere to be seen. Clips spread instantly. Articles were written. Fans were divided. Then, a few minutes later, Slipz walked back on screen and fixed the problem. Later that day, he posted on X confirming he was still on the team. Speed had been doing what Speed does. It was chaos that looked like drama, but was really just another day on the road. Still, the incident raised a question that lingered in the community. What is it actually like to work alongside someone that intense? Day after day, city after city, country after country. Earlier in the same tour, fans noticed something more subtle. During a stream in Texas, Slipz appeared withdrawn. He avoided eye contact. When Speed's father tried to greet him, Slipz did not acknowledge it. Viewers who had been watching closely posted compilations. The conversation online shifted. People began asking whether Slipz was burning out, whether the relationship was strained, whether the endless grind was finally catching up. Neither Speed nor Slipz made any public statement about a separation, and based on everything that followed, they kept working together. But the moment surfaced something real. The people closest to creators often carry weight that no one talks about. The pressure is immense, the hours are relentless, and the camera never stops rolling. What makes Slipz stand out is not just the talent, it is the resilience. In July of 2024, IShowSpeed streamed from Oslo, Norway. What started as a fan meetup descended into a mob scene. Hundreds of people surged. Speed was physically struck as he was being escorted away. His ankle was injured in the chaos. Slipz was in the middle of all of it, camera in hand. Afterward, he posted photos of Speed's injury and wrote directly to the fan base. He said the behavior was not love. He told people to be better humans. He was not performatively angry. He was direct. He had just been nearly seriously injured alongside his friend and colleague, and he chose to address the crowd honestly rather than say nothing. That is a specific kind of character. By mid-2026, Slipz had traveled to more than 50 countries filming Speed's content. He had been in stadiums and street markets, in helicopters and hospital waiting rooms, in the front row of moments that became cultural touchstones for an entire generation of internet viewers. He had been fired on stream and shown up the next day. He had been injured on tour and returned before he had healed. He had been the subject of fan drama and platform gossip and had mostly just kept working. His LinkedIn describes his role simply: content manager and videographer, specialized in direct-to-viewer live broadcasting, working with professional and consumer broadcast technologies to provide mostly uninterrupted live streams across the globe. It reads like a technical spec. It does not mention the sprinting, the mob scenes, the hospital stays, or the 10 billion views. Maybe that is the point. The best work is the work that disappears into the final product. When a stream goes live and looks seamless, nobody says the cameraman did a great job. They just watch. Slipz has built a career out of making that invisible, out of being the steady hand in the most unsteady situations you can put a camera crew into. IShowSpeed is one of the most viewed creators on the planet. And behind nearly every iconic moment of his IRL era, there is a guy named Samuel, running to keep up, making it look easy, never stopping. Next time you watch a Speed stream, look for the figure at the edge of the frame, the one holding the camera steady while everything around him is falling apart. That is Slipz. If you made it this far, you clearly care about the people behind the content, not just the content itself. Subscribe for more deep dives into the stories the algorithm never puts on your feed.